Hey guys, welcome to Double Shot of Steelers. I'm Dejan Kovacevic. He's Chris Halleck. We're from DK Pittsburgh Sports. Penguins are taking on the Montreal Canadiens. That would be tonight at PPG Paint Center. It's cold.
It's really cold outside.
I just thought I'd interject with that weather report.
Yeah, it's pretty darn chilly. Bundled up outside the Steelers. I was coming from the south side.
Yeah.
They practiced inside today. Even the walks between where the media is and where the
It's uncomfortable.
It's not comfortable at all.
Well, what really should tip you off is that the Montreal Canadiens themselves are right across the street, and watching them, they're huddled inside before they get to their bus. Like this for Montreal isn't cold at all.
No, it's not.
Okay, this is like summer. I'm exaggerating, but it's pretty significant.
Yeah.
Audio, she says. Hang on. My mic isn't on at all?
Mine is not on. Interesting. We just did a test right before we went on.
Oh, well, let's hang on here. Hang on. Don't whisper. Just tell us what
It's just that his mic isn't on.
which one? Chris's?
Just see if you're attached correctly on a software.
Okay. We're
Are
checking.
you on chat?
I'm on chat.
Roadcaster chat.
Yeah. Broadcaster chat. We'll start this over. Don't worry. It'll be like totally new show.
Saying something.
Oh, I hit speaker. Oh, this one's on me. Okay.
Am I coming through now? There we go. There we go.
This was me. I did this. Talent in big quotation marks. Yeah. Paulie wonders if Dolly's mic is on. He wondered if mine is on. I was the dummy. Anyway, we're going to start all over again.
Okay.
Okay, here. We can't do the theme song again, can we?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Hey, guys. Good afternoon to you. I'm Dejan Kovacevic. He's Chris Halleck. We're from DK Pittsburgh Sports. Penguins versus Canadiens tonight. An 11-minute walk from here up Fifth Avenue.
Have fun with that, with the cold weather outside.
Yeah, right. It's cold. So the Habs themselves were just huddled up in the hotel across the street. They don't even want to hang out outside by the bus.
No, it's chill, and the wind is blowing, which makes it even worse.
Well, that's the whole downtown wind effect. That's because it comes up the valley, and then for any of you who've either lived or worked or visited downtown, you'll know that the wind just comes whoosh through these buildings like that. Penguins versus Habs is an interesting matchup in the sense that Penguins win all of these. Like it's been years now that the Penguins have owned this series, and it's really like some of that doesn't make too much sense because you would think this would not be a great matchup. Habs are the youngest team in the NHL.
Yeah,
they've got speed, they got skill, they got some moxie to them. You know, with Nick Suzuki as a young captain. And yet the Penguins have really, really controlled this thing for quite some time. I don't know if there's something about the Habs being young and dangerous and all that has the Penguins kind of like wary of them. You know what I mean? Like you just kind of brace yourself for, we're going to have to stop these guys all night. If so, that would explain how well, and yes, the Penguins played the other night against the Ducks.
Yeah.
Until,
Well, yeah. They played really well for 59 minutes, 59 seconds, and whatever
43 seconds, yeah.
Whatever 0.1 second is like 60 minus that. But yeah, no, I don't think this is going to be a team that's going to be spooked by anything like that. They showed it against the Ducks. And yes, this is a Penguins team that has a lot of young players, Ben Kindle, Ville Koivunen, Rutger McGroarty, but also a team with a lot of veterans,
Yes.
Sidney Crosby, Erik Karlsson, Chris Letang. They've seen just about everything the NHL can throw at them. So I don't think that part spooks them at all. I think the thing right now for them is to make sure that they don't get bogged down by their ailments that are keeping them held back from their true potential now.
Yeah. Which is very much a thing right now. To support this thing with numbers, the Penguins in the last 23 meetings with the Canadiens are 16-4-3. In the last 32 games,
Yeah.
the Penguins are 22-8-4. When I saw those, I was like, that didn't even ring a bell with me. Like, what?
Yeah.
Really? But there they are. I have kind of altered my tune a little bit about the game
Okay.
from the other night
All right.
because I'm done with the last 17 seconds. I'm done with the OT, and I might be done with shootouts forever. Okay.
Which they did work on the shootouts today in practice, by the way.
Yeah, but even like, what is working out with shootouts? If you were a coach,
Yeah.
what would you say to your players? Hey, let's work on the shootout. See, this is what's funny about this. Mike Sullivan once brought this up, and I thought it was a great point. Whenever they would go through their own struggles with shootouts, and this has been going on for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you are not even Sullivan, okay? Or I mean Dan Muse, not even Dan Muse. Let's say you look at your staff and you go, who among you feels comfortable going and talking to Sid about the shootout? It's such a singular individual skill thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even if you take Nick Bonino, former longtime NHL player, former teammate of a championship team with Sid,
Mm-hmm.
do you take Bones and you say to him, hey, Bones, go talk to Sid about his shootouts?
Okay. Can I throw another perspective at you here?
Yeah.
So obviously, few human beings have ever lived that could be in the same stratosphere as Sidney Crosby when it comes to skill.
Mm-hmm.
But what you can,
Ever.
but what you can do is try to get his perspective on, okay, if you know the book on a certain goaltender, and you know, okay, he's weak, low glove. Okay, how do you approach that, knowing that he's low glove, that you want to go low glove, but at the same time, you don't want to necessarily be telling the goaltender from the time you touch the puck at center ice till the time the puck comes off your stick that, hey, I'm going to go low glove. Deception, the different things like that. I think there's something to be learned there, though.
Yeah, I do too. Our good friend Long comes in and chimes in that it's Fowler starting that's the most inauspicious thing. Given the history of generational Montreal goalies getting their first NHL start and a win against the Penguins, that's good stuff there. But at the same time, this actually is a young player making his NHL debut.
Mm-hmm.
There's no book on him.
Not at least at the NHL level. No, of course not.
No, but I mean, here again, now you go up to Sid and you say to him, hey, this kid the other night in the American League, he gave up a shot on the backhander. So use your back. He just can't, you can't do it and sound like anything. So what do as the coaches? You allow them to just take shootouts.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure that everybody who's ever excelled in the history of the shootout has done so just by repping them.
And regardless of who the goaltender is.
Who the goaltender is, whether they come with speed, whether they go forehand, backhand, shoot early, go in, make a deke.
I've always thought like the epitome of like the perfect shootout was what TJ Oshie did in the 2014 Olympic Games, because he obviously went over and over and over again for the United States, but it's not like he won the same way every single time.
He had the whole Rolodex.
Yeah.
Everybody in Russia got to see his whole arsenal.
No, seriously. Because it was the same goaltender every time, but that just goes to show, like, the guys who are the absolute best at it have different ways of beating goaltenders. It doesn't matter who it is. And so, yeah, you can do stuff like that. And it's at least good to see that the team is working on it, that the coach isn't stubborn enough to be like, well, it's not real hockey, we're not going to work on it.
No, and he said, Dan Muse did today, we're just going to, we're going to practice it. We're going to do it. He didn't make a big deal out of it. He didn't make a small deal out of it either. He didn't. And that's what a lot of coaches do. They're like, what can I, I as a coach can't help with this. Sure you can.
Yeah.
Facilitate the process. And the process is just reps.
Yeah. Well, because you definitely don't want to go into practice being like, okay, we're just going to do nothing but work on the shootout today.
Yeah.
You still got 60, hopefully no more than 65 minutes of actual hockey to be played.
Well, Tristan Jarry's in tonight. Now, not that Jarry has some great history in the shootout either. We've kind of anointed him the new savior of the shootout. Like, put Jarry in. Jarry's never really been all that great at this either.
Mm-hmm.
They just need Flower back. They should have just signed Flower as a third goaltender.
Gosh.
And Flower could be
His only job,
50 years old, and he'd still stop you in the shootout
probably.
and love it.
Yeah. He could probably. I mean, he could probably do it too. Like that. That's just just goes to show who Fleury is.
So the other opportunity that comes tonight, and I kind of like this, is that the Penguins' own young guys get an opportunity to show their stuff against the Montreal young guys. For anybody who missed it amid all the fuss, and rightfully so fuss, after the game the other night, Kendall, McGroarty, and Koivunen combined for 11 shots on goal. Not shot attempts, not missed, blocked, all that other stuff. 11 shots on Ville Husso. Didn't score.
Yeah.
But that's a lot of possession. That's a lot of firing of the pucks.
Yeah.
That's really impressive for those guys. Chris, I can tell you in talking with McGroarty recently about this, he wants them to stick together.
Yeah.
He wants it to be a line, and I kind of like that. Let
Well,
them grow together.
Yeah, well, exactly. It's not just being on the team and growing. Hey, how are you doing up there playing with Gino, or how are you doing up there playing with Sid, or hey, how are you doing? Grinding things out on the fourth line. No, they're on the team, but they're also growing together. They build that chemistry together. Are they going to be a line forever? No, probably not. I mean, it's just the way hockey goes. But no, it's really cool to see them growing together. And again, as they continue to be, you want to see more actual production, more goals, more actual putting the puck in the net.
Right.
But when they turn in a Corsi 4 of 70%,
You'll take it.
absolutely, especially when that's your third line.
Yeah, Cole says here, man, once that kid line starts finishing, it's
Yeah.
going to be nice. And that's actually the main point, I think, here. They need to feel a couple of goals. And they need to feel, to be more specific, a couple of goals their way.
Yeah.
And here's what I mean by that. The line in Wilkes-Barre was these same two wingers. They were around Tristan Brose. Separate subject.
We've talked about that already.
Yeah. But those guys, in particular McGroarty, they have a certain way of playing. They play on the perimeter. That doesn't mean that they're shy about going to the net or whatever, but they play on the perimeter. And I've said this before, McGroarty is more of a playmaking winger than he is a finishing winger.
Yeah.
And they'll do give and goes, but they'll take a direct path to the net from the give and goes. Chris, when they get one of those, then it'll be like, oh, we can do that here too. This is really cool, and feel good about it.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling that's going to be something that makes a big difference for these guys and really for this team. Can you imagine the first night, maybe it's tonight, that these guys pop a couple? I'm getting greedy now. But they pop a couple.
Yeah.
Imagine the impact on the rest of the team. First off, your older guys are like, hey, we're still here too. What's going on? But there's just a calming effect when you know that there's depth scoring. Not that you take it for granted, but depth scoring is such an empowering feeling for a hockey team, isn't it?
I mean, listen, I don't know. I mean, you covered the team at the time. I didn't, but I really, really think that when you look back, and you can correct me if I'm wrong here, but that 2016 Cup run,
Yeah.
the thing that kind of changed the season
Oh, not
was
kinda.
the HBK line. I mean, because you had a line that was
I love this.
probably your best line that did not. And it, like, I'm not saying it wasn't your best line. That wasn't. No, it was their best line, and it didn't have to have Sid or Malkin on it.
And they weren't out there to kill the clock.
No,
They were out there to
Yeah.
get it done.
Yeah, they were out there to put the
Speaking
puck in
of
the net.
bones, as
Yeah.
long as this is the all Nick Bonino show.
Yeah,
But those guys got it done. The other thing that happened that season, as long as you mention it, is that the kids came up.
yeah,
It was Brian Rust, it was Scott Wilson, it was Tom Kuhnhackl,
Knuckle, yeah,
and it was Connor Sherry. Those are the four who came up. Jake wasn't until the next year.
yeah, 17, yeah,
And when they did, the most significant impact on the roster, in addition to going, ooh, that's cool, because they needed a swift kick to the you-know-where.
yeah,
Those guys did. The locker room was dead. There was a lot of kind of like, well, we don't really know what's going on. We don't really know what's wrong. The kids came up, And suddenly, everybody knew what was wrong and how to fix it. Amazing how that works.
Yeah.
We had just started seeing the first signs. Just give you a small example, and heaven knows this is not to pick on him because this is a heck of a hockey player and a great career. Chris Kunitz was starting to show the first signs of getting a little bit older.
Yeah. It wasn't quite the same guy he was, especially when they had the 09 run.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he goes, and I remember talking to him about these kids getting there, and he just goes, it's put something into all of us. I don't even know exactly what he meant. I do know that he and other guys who were older on the team, they found a little bit of extra something to them, and you saw them pick up.
Well, think about, like, okay, let's go to this season now. Think about, number one, what's most important about this season for this franchise. And that's how the development goes toward the future. How these young players develop, whether it's at the NHL level, the AHL level, if they're still in juniors, wherever they are, how do they continue to develop? How do these assets grow? The assets that they already have, not the draft picks, but the actual players. And the immediate boost before the puck even drops in Madison Square Garden is Ben Kindle and Harrison Brunick made the roster.
Took the lap.
Right.
The whole thing.
Right.
In fact, you just rang a bell here for me. That was the night that Muse thought to start both of them.
Yeah, yeah.
And to start the three core guys. And he obviously fabricated a line and pairings to make that happen.
Yeah.
But I remember sitting up in the press box at Madison Square Garden, looking down. They have a gondola up there. And it didn't hit me right away. They had passed out the starting lineup sheet. And then I looked down and I went, whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool. It was like there was some symbolism to it, but he wanted everybody on the bench to feed off of it. And in talking to a couple of the guys afterward, they really did.
Yeah.
Not just the guys on the ice. They were all like, here's the old generation. Here's the new generation. Let's go make something happen. And boy, did they ever.
Yeah, they played a great game that night. But I'm just saying, like overall, like the most important thing is for these kids to play well and to grow forward. It doesn't have to necessarily result in wins and losses this year. If it does, phenomenal, great. You accelerate the plan that much more, the better these guys play. But that's what's most important. I think that alone, like you said, what happened in 2016, the young guys kind of gave them that jolt. And I think we've seen the younger guys give this team a bit of a jolt. I mean, when's the last time it's not just been one guy for 7 or 8 games, but multiple players?
You already cited it.
Yeah.
It was 2016 because even when Jake came up, Jake was alone.
Yeah.
Jake was emptying out everybody they had from Wilkes-Barre, and just the Jake falls out of the bag.
Yeah.
David says when they start doing one-timers, they'll score more. It seems like they're thinking before pulling the trigger. I know that's the case for Koivunen, and we've talked about that. In fact, even on his goal in Tampa, he still had to kind of settle the puck, look.
Just grip and rip it.
Just
grip and rip it.
Let it go.
That's where you need the James Neal.
Ooh, that's a good example.
I mean, he would not pick a corner. He wouldn't. He would just, as soon as the puck's on,
but yeah.
No, but I'm just saying
it was still quick.
No, I was saying he'd get the puck and he'd just rip it. There'd be so many times I think of that face-off play that they would have when he was on the line with Malkin, and Malkin it would always be on the left circle, and he'd be right at the top of that circle where Mantha is now when Malkin's out there.
Yeah.
And he'd win it straight back. Neil would already be shooting. His head wouldn't even be picked up.
No, it was gone.
He's not looking at the net. He just knows where it is. I'm not saying they have to do exactly that, but that mentality of just as soon as the puck's on your stick, just let it go.
McGroarty's got one of those from the right side.
Yeah.
He'll let it go, and he'll let it go low, which you always like.
Yeah.
Because then even if he doesn't score, it's going to pop out to somebody else.
Yeah.
That's cool. And it's gonna happen. And when it does, it's gonna be pretty neat.
Yeah.
Brad Richards says these guys are fun to watch. He means us. Larry said, fired up. You guys are doing this for the Penguins now, too.
Gosh.
Yeah, we are as well. Believe me, Larry. Been wanting to do this for quite some time. This felt like the right time in a lot of ways for this show here. Wasn't Brett Hall known, asks Slanex. Wasn't Brett Hall known for shooting high or low on his shots? No. No, Hull was known for shooting hard.
Yeah.
And you want to talk about somebody else that would, I mean, Hull was one of the better examples of grip it and rip it. The best example might have been his dad. I'm going way back before my time. But when you see the footage of Bobby Hull,
No, yeah.
I mean, he could, like, Brett became known for what's now known as the Ovechkin spot. You'd
Right.
feed Hull over on the left side, and he
Yeah.
would just one time, and then would go high, low, whatever. Like, you don't think of Ovechkin for high, low either. But in Bobby Hull's case, what he was doing was groundbreaking.
Mhm.
I mean, there'd been nobody else in the history of hockey that was firing away with slap shots like his. He's routinely, approaching 100 miles an hour, but he would do it from anywhere
Right.
in the attacking zone. He would take shots from outside the attacking zone
Mhm.
because goaltenders were there was no masks and stuff. What am I doing here? This is what kind of a life decision was this?
Yeah. I think the one thing when I think about like a young player's mentality, when you have a night like that line did against the Ducks,
Yeah,
where
yeah.
where you dominate possession, you do so well, you get a lot of pucks to the net, and nothing goes in. It's just I hope the coaching staff is like like instilling in those players, keep doing that. It's going eventually it's going to result in more goals and more actual goals than just some nice numbers in terms of possession metrics. Like, keep going, keep doing that. Don't have a night like that, or if they have another night like that tonight against Montreal, that they don't be like, okay, well, we got to do something different. No, keep going with that attack plan. Keep getting pucks to the net. I think that's one thing in the AHL and lower levels, you can get away with being a little bit
Yes.
too perfect.
Yes.
You can't do that at the NHL level. If you get the time and space, sure, great.
No,
but
you're watching it in real time. You're watching
Yeah.
it with Koivunen. You're seeing the evolution. You're seeing the step that has to. He's in that demilitarized zone
Right.
between AHL development and
Yeah.
NHL development.
Yeah.
And once he realizes that if and when he does this and he does such and such thing faster,
Mhm.
everything will go better for him. That includes his passing. Earlier this season, remember, he was just a wreck in the first two games, and they had to
it
send
was
him
rough.
back.
It was rough. Yeah.
That's because he was still moving at an AHL speed. His brain was still moving at an AHL speed. Dude can really play. But everything has to be put into fast forward at this top level. I like this from Ogre, who says, career shootout save percentage. That's a pretty quick research on your part there, pal. Marc-Andre Fleury, 724. Matt Murray, who you don't think of necessarily as being great in these situations, 691 is a very, very good
Yeah.
figure for him. And Jari's all the way down at 627. So the fact that Shilov's is at like 100 or whatever it is right now.
Matt Murray doesn't surprise me very much, just because he was just so calm.
Oh, yeah.
He had, I swear his pulse was like 17.
It's always
Yeah.
been that way. Yeah. I'll say this, though. I'm going to open up a can of worms here. This will be the last thing we have time to bring up today. Sergei Moroshov made 34 saves last night.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
He allowed this many goals.
Yeah.
He stopped a stone cold breakaway among those 34 saves. Guy just had all day, came in from 100 feet. And it didn't look like it was particularly compelling for him. It didn't look like it was some astronomical feat. Now, breakaways in hockey games are not the same as shootouts. Everybody will tell you that. But he stopped the guy. And there was no way not to start thinking about, come on, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
Speaking of Matt Murray, Murray was 22 years old when he won the first cup with the Penguins.
Yeah.
Moroshov's 22. What are you doing?
Yeah.
How much longer?
Yeah, I understand that. I understand wanting to get an extended look at Shilov's. I understand that when you make the move that they did.
Yep.
I understand getting the extended look and understanding that you don't want to. I mean, when you look at everything that Moroshov has done in his actual playing experience in the ECHL and the AHL, making sure that he's got enough of that experience before you just say, okay,
Yeah.
you're in the NHL, you're staying in the NHL.
Yeah.
We don't want this back and forth stuff.
Other than emergencies.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
No, I get that. Lynn brings up a great point here. about Shilovs in general.
Mm-hmm.
He commits too soon. But that's not just true of the shootouts. If you go look at Anaheim's goals in regulation,
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember who got that last one there. It was Troy Terry. Came down the right side. He goes down. He shows Terry
Yeah.
the net
Yeah.
over him on the 0.1 second goal.
Just sprawling out.
How does he end up on his face?
Yeah.
What about that situation would lead your goaltender to end up on his? We're not going to keep doing burying Shilovs here. Doug has the last line for today. Says a lot of goalies who are good at the shootout get praised for showing a hole and closing it. The old bait and switch. Our guys have to learn some of that. It's a game.
Yeah, it is.
It's a game unto itself. You can say that it's not part of hockey and whatever else, but if it counts for points in the standings, it is.
Yeah.
The way Flower would see this was him, it's me against you. And he took it so personally.
I mean,
It's so competitively. And you can't just do this Shilovs thing where you hear him after the games going, yeah, shootout. No, dude.
yeah.
No, it counts.
Yeah. I think of like the little clips from Penguins practice back in the day when like the puck would be just going to the net and Fleury would like hurry and get it out of there. He didn't want any pucks behind that line. Like it didn't matter the situation. It didn't matter the drill.
I
It didn't matter if they were between drills.
I can't see you back there.
He didn't want that puck behind the line.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's just a competitive thing that never switched off for him.
We appreciate you guys. We're going to head over to our Steelers channel on YouTube to do the double shot of Steelers. And if you're heading to the rink tonight, for God's sake, dress warmly.
It's cold.
It is cold.
And it's going to be even colder this weekend if you're going to the rink for either one of the
There's
games on
two
Saturday.
games,
or Sunday.
and then of course the Monday night game between the Steelers and the Dolphins.
that's gonna be
we're
cold,
in for
too.
yeah.
It's going to be a little bit below 46 degrees for Tua.
It's going to be a little bit below what the Dolphins are comfortable with seeing, but I'm going to go out on a limb here and presume that the Habs are like,
This is like you said.
they might put on a hoodie.
Yeah, maybe.
All right, guys, we'll see you tomorrow.